Okay, in the previous video, you have learned how to create a new Android Studio project. A project that its name is My First App. Its application ID is com.example.myfirstapp. The project files are saved at this folder, and this project is used to write apps for smartphones and tablets that support Android 5 and higher. When the new project is built, if we go back to the folder that the project files are located, we'll notice the Android Studio has generated a lot of folders and files based on our choices. These folders and files contain everything that defines your Android app, from source code and assets to test code and build configurations. Let's go back to the Android Studio. On the left-hand side of the screen, there is a tab called Project. All of the project's folders and files are structurally displayed here. Okay, in this video, I'm gonna teach you about the building blocks that make up an Android project. For example, in our app and in the manifests folder, there is a file named androidmanifest.xml file. To open any file, double-click on its name in the Project tab. And to close a file, click on the Close box. As you see, two files are opened by default in separate tabs: mainActivity.kt and activity_main.xml. These are the two files that together make up an activity. Activity_main.xml defines the user interface of the activity, and mainActivity.kt file defines the behavior and functionality of the activity. But the question here is that what's an activity? Well, when you open an app on your Android device, a screen appears. Suppose the screen contains a button, and when you click on the button, it opens another screen. In the world of Android, we call each screen an activity. Okay, as an exercise, pause the video, close these two files, and open them again. As you probably have noticed, the KT file is located under the Java and your domain name folder. Also, the XML file is located under the res and layout folder. So double click on this file so it opens activity_main.xml file. Beside these two files, our project is made up of other files too. Let's have a look at them. As you see, under the manifests folder, there is a file called android.manifest.xml file. Every Android app has an Android manifest file. The Android manifest file provides information that an Android device needs in order to install and run an app. For example, when you're going to install an app, its icon and title are extracted from the Android manifest file. Also, if I need to use, for example, camera in my app, I have to add permission for using the camera in my Android manifest file. As you see, all these information are presented in XML format. Okay. The next folder is Java. It contains all source code files of our app. At the moment, we have only one activity, so there is only one file here, main activity. Later, I'll teach you how to add more activities as our apps get more complex. Okay. Also, we have two folders under the Java folder. These two folders are used for test purposes. Actually, they're suitable for testing the functionality of your app before deployment, before publishing your apps. Now let's talk about REST folder. The REST stands for resources. As you can see, there are a large number of resources folders here. Each folder can hold a specific resource file. Let's go through them one by one. In Android, anything that can be drawn to the display screen is called drawable. So, images are a type of drawable. Your PNG or JPEG images goes into drawable folder. In fact, if you're going to use images in your app, first you'll have to add them to the drawable folder and then use them. Also, inside the layout folder, we can find a .xml file. As I said before, the XML file located under this folder is used to design the activities layout. Note that this XML file and this KT file together make an activity or make a screen in Android. Okay. Now let's talk about this folder. Here is where you define a launcher icon or app icon for your application. As you see, there are two folders, IC Launcher and IC Launcher Run. If your app is installed on a device that supports the circular icons, then the icons in this folder are used as launcher icon. Later and in a separate video, I'll teach you how to create an icon for your application. And the last folder is values. This folder contains 3 XML files. In this file, colors are defined in XML format. As you see, each color is defined by a name and a value. In fact, each color is a key value pair. Each value is a combination of 4 parameters: alpha channel, red, green, and blue. Each parameter is a hexadecimal number. The hexadecimal number system uses 16 symbols, 0 to 9, to represent values 0 to 9, and A to F to represent values 10 to 15. These 3 colors are automatically generated. Also, we can add other colors. For example, I can add another color here that its name is alarm color, and it's in red. As you see, here we can have a preview. It's good practice to define colors here in this file and then use them throughout the app. Also, we have strings.xml here that we can define strings in these files and then use the name of each string. Or we can define styles here in this file and later use them. I'll teach you how to work with these files later. So until now, we've had an overview of the files and folders of an Android project. The Android Studio takes these files and turns them into an Android application. In fact, there is a build system called Gradle that is used for turning these files into an APK file. But Gradle needs instructions on how to do it. The instructions are located under the Gradle scripts folder. We have nothing to do with this. I'll teach you how to deal with Gradle scripts at the right moment. So, as a conclusion, an Android project in Android Studio is divided into an app folder and Gradle scripts.